Smurf got accidentally collapsed by League of Legends. Because remember, smurfing is bad. So let's see, where do we draw the line? How smurfing is bad and why smurfing is bad?
Believe it or not, I was working on a lore video, but then the community decided to eat itself. And it ate itself in the most hilarious way imaginable. And the best part is, this all circles back to Drew Levin, and people love talking about him. So a little bit of catching up. Over the past month, one writer called Drew Levin, also known as Just a Capybara, who is the product and strategy lead for League of Legends.
Oh yeah, we know this guy. He's amazing.
Meaning that he's essentially the bridge between all of League's teams,
Yep.
started posting and answering a lot of questions on Twitter. And when I say a lot of questions on Twitter, I mean that Drew possibly has about 100 tweets a day.
Understandable, but what was that? 326 to players in the past 24 hours, I counted. Well, I mean, you need to have some sort of a communication with the player base. Previously, we had Freak with his very long patch reviews. I'm pretty sure he still is doing that, but that's not as efficient and not answering every single question as this guy is doing. Hey, more power to him.
And all of these are him answering honest questions without barriers. This worked so well that people started seeing Drew as a sort of a League of Legends messiah.
Yep.
There was really nothing he wouldn't be able to talk about honestly.
Can we give Nyla a 235 jungle clear so I will not see her in the bot lane anymore? That's the guy working at top levels of Rita. Nah, I wanna work on the game. We got shit to do. Thank you. Don't make me talk to the fucking board or whatever. I can do that later in my career after rack up some dubs. Fucking hero. My kind of rioter. The world is healing. We're moving away from snowflakes who get pinged 7 times and then the next day they remove the ping to this kind of real talk. My guy, bro. Straight up my fucking guy.
Which up until that point was quite unheard of from Riot. If you'd like to see more examples of these shenanigans, there is a full video about it. The point
And the video is called Players Found Their New Favorite Rioter. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. I already like him.
is, when there is an issue on Twitter, Drew Levin is right behind the corner. But
Nice.
this also means that even if people don't tag him on an issue, because he's been present around the League community so much, he simply sees all the posts, including those people think he won't see. And one of these posts was made by a streamer called Pentaless.
Uh-oh. 40... Oh, to plat. I don't understand how people can have hundreds of games on jungler in low elo and still consistently fail the free 30 full clear. Dedication, hard work, and straight up mental persistence of doing what you're good at. If you're good at failing, you continue failing. Case in point, how many games do I have this season? I don't think we can check, hold on. 47 wins, I have 100 games. This season I definitely have 100 games. 9 out of 10, I'm failing 330. Why? Because I'm that good at it.
Which was a post that said 40-0 to plat. I don't understand how people can have hundreds of games on a jungler in low elo and still consistently fail the 330 full clear. Now while here he is specifically talking about people not mastering clear times, anyone with common sense can tell you that he is bragging about his rank. And lo and behold, after this post got a bit of traction, Drew popped up. And he made a parody of his tweet because he got a little suspicious.
I don't understand how people can look at our dev update about smurfing and think it's a good idea to buy accounts and post about 40-0 sub-plat games as a 1k LP challenger. Do you think we want to enforce our rules and terms of service? No, you will not. No, you will not. Because Rito is banning smurfs and boosters who don't bring eyes to League of Legends. If you're not a huge streamer, if you're not a content creator, you will get banned. Case in point, do me a favor, go to Twitch right now, check out the top streamers. Not narking, but just check out the titles. Somehow, we are ending up in a different region on the fresh account. And somehow, we do know the real ranks. We're talking about 0.01% of the player base. Those guys are good. Somehow, they're chilling in silver. Somehow, they're climbing for the NO. But somehow, only Pentaless got banned. Interesting.
I don't understand how people can look at our dev update about smurfing and think it's a good idea to buy accounts, and post about 40-0ing subplat games as a 1k plus LP challenger. Do you think we won't enforce our rules and TOS? Now here, Drew is referencing their latest dev update, which had an entire section where Drew himself, as well as Frogzone, talked about smurfing, including account sharing, buying accounts, and boosting. More than that, they very specifically talked about a new system that will target people who buy accounts. So all of this is a problem that is fresh out of the oven. This is
Fair enough, okay. Maybe those streamers, maybe those content creators hand-leveled all of those accounts in a different region. I highly doubt it. But let's play the devil's advocate. Maybe on free time they played on 200 ping, and off-stream they hand-leveled it. Suppose that could be the angle.
is why, when this tweet popped up, Drew was there head-on. But Pentalist tried to defend himself. He mentioned that this account was hand-leveled in bots versus AI. It only played solo queue and it didn't boost anyone. So by Riot's own TOS, it should be clean.
Technically he's right. Your move, Riot.
Now notice how throughout the entire video he technically never mentioned that he leveled the account himself. He mentions that it is hand leveled, which means that
no bot activity.
Someone leveled it, not a bot, because Vanguard banned all the bots.
Good one. Fucking good one, yeah. Existence on Vanguard forces bot creators to find a way how to surpass it, how to avoid it. And I'm pretty sure there was a video on Rysku's channel that I wanted to watch that said how hackers are surpassing the Vanguard. How are they avoiding it? How are they dealing with it?
But he never said that he did it himself. This is not an accusation, but you'll see how funnily this fits into this entire story. Anyway, Drew was still a little bit suspicious, which is why he replied this. Would you like to have the rest of this conversation in public? If so, I'll need you to voluntarily disclose things like account details. I'm not interested in smiting any given account, although I am happy to discuss details of your account if you can show they are yours. Now, because the rest of this conversation goes wild quickly, where some people accuse Drew of having personal vendetta against streamers, just keep in mind—
Wait, Pentalist is a streamer? I mean, I know only a handful of streamers in League of Legends. Like, bro, I'm not a viewer, I'm a someone who's chilling and occasionally creating content.
that here at the very beginning of the conversation, he specifically said he doesn't care about smiting down anyone, but more importantly, he did offer him to settle this in private. Alright? Just remember that. But also remember that here, Drew specifically asked him to prove that he is the owner of his accounts. This is totally not foreshadowing.
Yeah, I see where this is going. I can see where this is going. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all can see where this is going. Because let's be real, I don't think any of my friends that I've played League with created their accounts. Why spend numerous days, if not weeks, leveling an account to level 30 when you can spend that time doing something productive, working, studying, spending time with family, and just buy an account that's already level 30 for the small price of $2, you know?
But still, Pentalist continued his defense in public, and so the conversation continued as open as possible. He mentioned that there shouldn't be any suspicions on his account.
Yeah, except for the fact that I mean, maybe. I wanted to say maybe except for the fact that he's playing a jungle right there, but in boss he's playing ADC. But then I realized that, bro, that's exactly what I was doing when I was leveling my accounts. You play ADCs because they are the fastest hyper carry that's capable of destroying the turrets.
The only issue could be that his account dropped to Iron 4, which is why he heavily smurfed. But even with that, the account should be clean. Which is where we need to point out, why exactly was Drew suspicious of that account? You see, if you go 40 wins against 0 losses, the chances that you end up in plat are extremely low.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after 40 wins you should be around Diamond 2.
And there are two major factors that point at this. First of all, I Will Dominate made a whole video talking about this topic. And he mentioned that when Riot gave him an account so that he could play on a different server, it was a completely blank account with no MMR. And so starting from pure zero with no normal games played on it...
Yeah, after the first loss, you're being placed at Iron 4-0 LP, but then you win the next game. Out of nowhere, look at that, you're an Iron 2, if not Iron 1. You win one more game, look at that, you're Bronze 3, Bronze 2. So 40 games on blank slate should end up in the higher diamond, at least higher diamond.
He played about 48 games with about 85% win rate. It's not even 100%. And that made him cross into Master. This perfectly lines up with what should be the case. Because the second factor is Riot's new system that is handling Smurfs. Over the years, Riot made massive improvements with the True Skill 2 system as well as the original skill system. And in almost every dev talk, there is the one part where Riot talks about it, but everyone skips it because they want to know what's the next exalted skin. In fact, at the beginning of the Noxian season, Riot confirmed that the new system is getting very good at identifying Smurfs.
Yeah, what did they say? 2 games, 3 games? And that's it, you're cooked. Because the system will understand your true skill.
So in general, if you are actually doing well, the system will boost you up. I think the original quote was that it takes about 4 to 6 games.
Okay, I suck at math. Maybe Necrit knows better than I do.
To identify you are a high rank player. Meaning that if you win 40 games in a row, the chances of you not being way above diamond are very low. Which is why Drew was suspicious. The numbers didn't add up. It was likely there was some kind of rank manipulation. But still, it was possible that this was just a bug. I mean, the systems are still work in progress.
True that. Let's not forget that it's only 200 years of collective game design. Bugs happen. We just saw one of the bugs happen and Doombots. And the Vagar's evil in the hardest mode. But 40-0, that's even to the devil's advocate. So let's say that's a little bit suspicious. But I'm pretty sure that account had a MMR. It definitely had MMR. Suppose in this season it could have been clean, but last season that account should have been Iron 4 minus LP. That's the only way I see how the MMR system would work. For you to get 40 wins, 0 losses, and end up in plat.
Which is why Drew wasn't willing to do anything unless he had hard evidence. I mean, there were cases where Riot accidentally banned people who were innocent before, and so he wanted to play it safer. And again, that is why Drew needed to know which accounts specifically did Pentales own. And so the conversation continued. Sorry, what's the account details, including name and registered email? I hope you'll forgive me if I think that a heavily cropped screenshot of an op.gg page is not sufficient evidence to believe you're talking about your own account. After which the two shared some more information publicly. I'll try to avoid that because I don't actually want to start a witch hunt.
Can't you just hack someone's account with just that basic information? I'm pretty sure that was what happening last year or maybe 2 years ago when all of NA and Europe streamers went to Korea. Like a bunch of accounts got hacked. Because somehow, if you have access to an email, that's it, you're cooked.
But after that, Drew asked for the summoner ID and the server. With all the details set, the conversation ended with, "Perfect, thanks. We'll look into this tomorrow when in the office." This was on August the 17th. And merely 2 days later, on August the 19th, this happened.
Oof. 30 days. Get wrecked.
Yep, Pentales got banned. And he got banned for the funniest reason. So this entire tweet is quite lengthy, so let's bite into it piece by piece. After being falsely accused by a Riot employee on Twitter that I had bought my account, proof that the account accused was hand-leveled, and in response to proving my innocence, again, it can be hand-leveled, just not by him, I have now been globally banned on all my accounts for rank manipulation. Many pros and larger streamers are handed accounts from Riot around Diamond Elo, which by definition are considered Smurfs, for having the same LP difference as a Master player playing in Bronze. So first of all...
Hold on, allow me to process that. Pros, yes. Larger streamers... don't think so. I really don't think so. Maybe one or two. Single digits.
Riot doesn't actually give anyone diamond accounts. I think this was the case up until like Season 5. Now it doesn't happen anymore, with the only exception being pros, who need...
Oh, so it's only pros, so the streamers are fucked. Yeah, that explains the whole drama when the NA and Europe was invading Korea.
the higher rank accounts on different servers to practice before tournaments. Everyone else, including streamers, can get a new account, but it is a blank level 30 account with nothing on it. This has been their policy for at least the last 6 years. And even now, if you ask, there is a good chance you won't even get it. I'll be honest, even I don't know the specific rules you need to meet to get one of these accounts. Secondly, no
Has to be honor level 5, no restrictions, no bans, no nothing, clean chat logs, and pretty much the most honorable player there ever existed.
Notice how he says that he got banned because of this specific account. This might come back later. I've been banned for hand leveling an ult and going on a winning streak without duoing with anyone else in ranked. That is correct. That did happen. And I'd like to apologize. Technically, he does hint that he did level the account himself. It's just funny that in every other paragraph he does have to mention that it is hand leveled. I've most likely been banned due to a bug with older accounts since it was initially made 7 years ago. Although my account was playing with Emerald and Diamond players in normals a month ago, due to an issue with older accounts being bad MMR, it initially got placed in Iron 4.
Well, I mean, every single account is being placed in Iron 4. But I don't think a single bug, if you are playing in Emerald Diamond, I don't think you'll be playing in Iron for long. Definitely not for 40 games.
A similar thing happened to Core JJ in the past, being placed into Iron 1 after going 10-0 in placements, which is why his name in NA is from Iron. I'd also like to mention that I've created the account around the same time as he did, which could explain the similarities in MMR. All of this, everything we've heard here, may as well be true.
I mean, it does make sense. It will be rather hard to argue unless somehow Rito on the backend with the access of Vanguard to your system, somehow they found extra information.
People have heard that such bugs exist. So it is possible he got one of the bugged accounts that were just old. That could easily result in the win streak.
Except, wait for it.
And so all of this also hold. And so he ends with this. To sum things up, being banned on my hand-leveled account because of Riot not
Yeah, way too much emphasis on the hand leveled.
placing Smurfs correctly isn't fair. Although what's even more unjust is that my main account got banned as well for what I feel is an abuse of power in this situation. Riot has not historically issued global bans except against players who are extremely toxic and run it down.
I know him, you know him, everyone knows him. The one and only fucking legend Tyler 1.
Which I am neither. I am very disheartened to see my main get banned in the crossfire of my hand-leveled account. I was really looking forward to maybe achieve rank 1 for the end of this split, but it looks like I won't even have the opportunity. Here, we have to point out that he feels like he got banned because Levin abused his power. He got power hungry. He felt the temptation. The power fantasy was too great. With a single button, he could ruin anyone's livelihood.
Honestly, in his position, I'd be thinking exactly the same.
If that livelihood depended on smurfing. And he also mentioned that historically, Riot has only ever banned very toxic players. One example could be Tyler. And so the message was out there. Riot started banning people, and when questioned, they would double down. They simply banned streamers they didn't like because they could. But of course, this itself is a public tweet. And so you know who's right behind the corner?
Yup. He's back.
Would you like to link your purchased account that you've played more than 20 games on?
That's it. Right off the bat. Shot to the head. Instantly. Get fucked, my friend.
That's right, in a hilarious twist of fates. The one account he posted, yeah, that one might have been fine. It was unlikely, but there was the chance that a bug ruined its MMR. But the ban also came from a different place. You see, the entire time, Drew had the suspicion that something was off. And after being given enough information by Pentales himself, meaning that he fell into his trap, Drew could investigate the account and all the other accounts that were also connected to it, and he found out that this all links to other accounts, some of which were not mentioned here, were bought.
Oh, buddy. No, I'm not saying he got access to other accounts thanks to Vanguard, but knowing Riot's shenanigans and how they have access to the backend information, if you give them information only to one account, somehow they got information on your other accounts. That seems a little bit fishy, to say the least, because you didn't provide that information of other accounts.
Again, remember, the issue of buying accounts is
anything you say can and will be used against you. But that's the neat part. He didn't mention his other account.
fresh out of the oven. Riot just talked about it, which helped decide the easiest ban ever. However, the twist is not over. Because you see, the original ban states that he got banned for rank manipulation. So why would it state that? You see, while the original account faced massive suspicions for rank manipulation, because again, the numbers simply didn't make sense. What they found with the other bot accounts was just a side dish. Because if we keep reading the tweets, we get to the truth. So let me see if I got your point right. We did far too little to enforce our rules in the past, and this strikes you as too abrupt and too harsh a punishment, is that right?
Pretty much, yes. Based on the previous experiences and based on everything that we know about Rito in the past, yeah, this looks like it's out of nowhere.
So, we made an entire dev update section about this, marketed it in the game client, wrote a blog post about it.
But you also said a lot of shit about Smurfs, about honorable players, about hackers, about Vanguard in the bazillion of previous posts. Somehow, this didn't hold any water. So, it is kinda surprising that one thing out of bazillion somehow became true.
And talked about it on social media. I know, I made videos about all of those. Pentales interacted with those conversations multiple times, demonstrating awareness of policy and stance. Not only that, but he streamed and posted about going 40-0 from iron to plant. I don't think there is much reasonable disagreement about whether it's alright to, as a challenger, try hard on an Iron 4 account. But then when someone told Drew that he's still getting banned for an Iron 4 account, all of which was the fault of Riot's own buggy system, Drew posted the final nail. Sorry, this is a challenger player getting gapped by a silver gold jungler, and you think the challenger played normally?
Yep. And here we go with the rank manipulation. That's called deranking. Now the real question is, did he himself was he himself deranking, or he had someone else do it for him? In any case, if we take a look at these two options, breaking the TOS, he's cooked.
And yes, this is an example of a challenger getting destroyed by an unranked account. The important part is, this is a normal game, and apparently, this account also had a history with surrendering normal games, which you would do to lower the hidden MMR.
Wait. So if you surrender, you'll lose more MMR than just a casual defeat? Or that the whole point is just to get the defeat? Yes. What do you mean, yes? Like, I'm a bit confused because I feel like we're talking about just a casual defeat because surrender means defeat. But is surrender more damaging to your MMR than just a defeat? Because if that's the case, I might be joining Team ASAP. Never surrender. Intentionally losing. One thing is to lose intentionally, the other thing is surrender. That's what I'm looking at. Hold on, this just fucking blew my mind.
Because yes, even normal games evaluate how good you actually are.
Yeah, but normal games have a different MMR than ranked games. You can be challenger in solo queue, you can be playing an iron in normal queue.
So that when you are in a ranked game and you win or lose, the game knows how much LP it is supposed to give you. So
Did they change it? Because few years ago I had a conversation with the Riot support asking about it. Because I was playing solo queue, I was high silver, I was maybe gold. But in my normal games, I never play normal games, but in my normal games, I was matched against fucking emeralds and platinums. Sometimes diamonds. I said, Rito, what the fuck? I'm being abused. And Rito said that's because normal games and ranked games have different MMRs. And now you're telling me that they are intertwined?
If you lose a lot of normal games and you go into ranked and you win, you get less LP.
No shot. When did they change that? No fucking shot.
So you stay in a lower rank longer.
Wait. How many people can you invite to a normal game? Draft pick? 5. So you're telling me it is possible for me to get a group of 5. The moment we get minute 15, we surrender. We do that for, let's say, a week. We drop our MMR like there's no fucking tomorrow. And then I go in ranked. What am I? Silver. So if I surrender 200 games with my pre-mates in normal, do you want to tell me, are you telling me that we will be playing against irons? Is that how it works? I mean, as I remember, there's a reason they kept ranked MMR and normal MMR separate. Then you would get banned for rank manipulation. But I'm not manipulating a rank if I'm surrendering in normals. I'm playing the devil's advocate here because, hear me out, there is no rank in normal games, right? That's why it's normal. You want a rank, you go ranked. It's in the name.
By Riot's very own definition, that is ranked manipulation. Though Pendalis also did post some other normal games where he played normally, and to be fair, that does look legit, but we don't have the stats, so I have no idea what's going on with those. But does it really matter? Nope, because what didn't help is that he also got banned for buying accounts.
Well, yeah, get fucked. What I mean, that's a public secret everyone knows. Straight up, I mean, I know it, you know it, everyone knows it.
So even if he proves that the account is
but you have to play normal to get an ranked from beginning. Is it a possibility that Rito changed the code so that your normal MMR, if you are hand leveling, yeah, from level 1 to level 30, they check into consideration your MMR, and if throughout your leveling adventure, throughout those normal games, you lose every single one of them, by the time you're level 30, you lost and surrendered, let's say, 200 games. Winning first game of ranked will place you in Iron 4-0 LP. That's the classic. But if you win a second game, where will that place you? Iron 4 1 LP? I mean, we're either onto something or we're onto absolutely nothing. There's no in between with this one.
Fine somehow, the ban would still hold. And the funniest thing is, people don't care either. I thought there would be an uproar, but people are ruthless. The replies on Twitter are wild. But only yesterday, this post... The replies
The server playing.
on Twitter are wild. But only yesterday, this post also ended up on Reddit, and we all know that Reddit is full of challengers, meaning that they should be sympathetic towards the players, because Riot systems always suck. But here, out of all places, people tore him apart too.
Zwag is a good person to keep an eye on. His videos are popular and he is at least master level of a player, but he merged with iron to silver. If they are serious, then his low level accounts will be banned. But that's the neat part. That's not his accounts. I'm pretty sure every other video uses a different account. Zwag is playing chess while we are playing checkers. He figured this game long ago. I'm pretty sure he's safe on this angle.
And so, in the end, he should be happy the ban was only 30 days. Though if right now reverts the ban and it turns out he was innocent the entire time, that is not...
So Gemini is saying that on a fresh account, normal MMR has an impact on ranked. We need sources for that. Because last night I saw an episode of South Park the latest episode where let's just say this might not be the best idea to trust AI.
Not gonna be a good look.
Right. I guess one could say Penteles fucked around and found out